Welcome back. Today we are going to be taking on a little bit of a different type of video. We are going to be talking about the 5 Depots challenge in Kaiserpunk. My name is Tangy Delore, and we're going to first start off with the twist. So this challenge may seem simple at first. We have 5 depots, but what happens if there is a damage depot? We're actually going to have to use the damage depots a part of the 5 depots. So if one of the damage depots is around, we actually have to use that one first. This will add an extra challenge because we won't be able to decide where some of the depots are located. And of course, there's even more to it because there's something called production chains, and our depots are a huge part of getting those production chains going because we need those minerals out of those production chains. And not to jump too far into the game, but there's going to be something called local stocks, which we're going to learn a lot about once we start this episode. So let's get started. So this is going to be our new beginning, our best start, obviously. The only thing is, I start making this road. I start winding up really hyper-focusing on what I winded up wanting to do. But then I realize, well, I don't realize, unfortunately, that there's 2 depots on this map already because I didn't think that they were going to be the exact same map. I actually thought that the map changed and the depots were in different locations. And I was just getting ready and trying to process how I wanted to wind up managing all 3 of the depots at the same time. So unfortunately, I start making these labor houses, and then I start placing down my forestries and getting my planks going. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm ready to go make my first depot. I'm getting all excited. And then later on, I realized it is my 3rd depot. So now we're finally making some plywood. Let's go put down another lumber house and let's really get these depots moving so we can get all of our supplies. I also think I should put down another forestry and maybe extend this road out if I can. Just because plywood is life. I just think without plywood, you're not going to be able to do anything in this game. So let's go grab some of these ruins so that we can salvage. And oh my goodness, this is going to be a damaged depot. And I just placed that one down. So we're just going to have to get over it, honestly. I know I'm like stressing about this, but now we have a 2nd depot. And I need to start making some food. The second most important thing here is some vegetables. So let's get our farm down, get our road set up, stop thinking about it. I know it's killing me on the inside. I knew about this as well, and I totally forgot. So let's put down these roads and just start connecting our paths. This is where it gets out of hand. I finally recuperate, though. We start to really develop our town and try to get through as many breakthroughs that we can. We start building up our plywood. We start getting our water towers in there. We start getting our major farms in there. And I think that our town's starting to finally feel like it's growing. And we come up with our first solution to a big problem, which is awesome. I have a plan, guys. I have a plan. For the first time, I think we might be able to do this. We could just trade and we can get any kind of the materials that we don't have. So the market is just going to be a next game change because otherwise I don't know what we would do. I'm excited. Now we can start building up our town. It's starting to look really nice, feel really good. We're going to upgrade our roads. We're going to upgrade our town hall. Unfortunately, here in a second, after I upgrade my town hall, I make a rookie mistake, which I'll show you here in a second. So we'll just go play that part. Starting to look good. Our depot's starting to look good. What is going on over here? Building not working, no supply. Man, so I've been sitting here this entire time not getting our riots. Why are we having riots? It's probably because of this paper mill. I cannot believe that we're having riots. Oh my goodness. I thought we were doing so well. I did not expect this at all. Unfortunately, I die in the lamest reason ever, but I don't quit. I wind up continuing, and I see how could I solve this problem because it puts me back a little bit in the time, and I realize I could place a police station. So I have to go build up my civics points. So I think, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? So I put a bunch of fire stations down. I put an electrical station in there. Then I put a bunch of elementary schools in there, and then I wind up building up my town a little bit. And finally, I'm able to wind up placing down a police station, and we wind up solving the problem for now. Unfortunately, my town does not get better after that police station. How did my farms catch on fire? I have so many fire stations. So I know I only placed 3 depots, but I was starting to feel really anxious because you have to manage everything you have. I only have 2 depots left. So a lot of that was reorganizing things and getting the most production out of those depots. So a lot of times I was just changing things around. Eventually I had to put my 4th depot down because I needed the clay, which then I needed the bricks for these supplies on these later on supplies. And of course I had more fires, which was even more stressful. So the whole world was falling apart there for a good second, especially with the lower tier electronics or electrical outposts. So I had to heavily rely on the markets, which is honestly the saving grace of this game that I had. So I was able to finally get done my production chains to be able to place down the coal power plant, which really started looking a little bit more up. But there is a lot to do, or a lot you have to deal with if you only have 5 depots. Like a lot of times when I'm playing the regular game mode, and this is on normal, you just place down the depots and it's almost, if you know how to play the game, you don't have as many struggles. So it's definitely a different type of game mode. I started having a lot of fun though. I know I was stressed because you had to do like a lot of micromanaging, but my town started feeling humongous, which was awesome. But this game mode really made you feel or focus on the features and development, which could honestly be stressful at sometimes because I was really focusing on all of the upgrades or managing my city. I know I had a couple more depots, but I really wanted to make the depots that I had as efficient as I could. Unfortunately, there's only so many buildings that you can upgrade, and you just start to realize that you're a little bit stuck because I needed vegetables and I didn't really have a plan for that. Eventually, I just put more trade depots to get more traders, and I don't even know if that's exactly how that winds up working. I just started struggling with getting vegetables, and I had to find a way to do it. And I just went through diplomacy, started working with features I usually don't work on. And I was trying to sell most of my planks because I was, producing a lot of planks and we just needed more vegetables because I wasn't building any more buildings. But I thought that it wasn't really fair that my planks weren't worth as much as I wanted them to be worth. So I learned a lot about the dynamics, but unfortunately, it didn't really help me in the end. I can't stress this enough, though, of how much fun the 5 Depot Challenge was for me. At one point in time, I just knew my city was stretched to the very limits and I just couldn't do anything else because I was running out of supplies. So I just had fun and I just started beautifying my city, working with these, decorations and ponds that I never really played with before. And I just try to make the most out of the situation that I was going to wind up being in. Which, of course, I eventually got into that situation and everyone started rioting and there was a lot of destruction. And I tried my hardest to stop it and I still had some money, but I just realized there was no way and I was just going to become bankrupt. And I just let it happen. And it felt satisfying just letting it happen. Normally, I'm just trying to save my city to the very end, but this city, I knew there was nothing else that I could wind up doing. I already placed all of my depots. I've been trying to trade as much as I could trade, And I just knew it was over. But it was really, really satisfying when it was over. But I hope you guys like this video as much as I liked making it for you guys. Of course, my name is Tangy Delore. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next thing that will happen on my channel.